Presenting the Hall of Fame Award to the late Dr. Ferenc Hepp is Ed Steitz, Director of Athletics at Springfield College and President of ABA USA, Dr. Edward Steitz.
Thank you, Dick. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend Ferenc Hepp was born 72 years ago in Bex, Hungary, and passed away last November. Unfortunately, he never did know that he would be inducted this evening. He was an international leader in basketball for the past 50 years. Dr. Hepp received a Bachelor of Science degree from Springfield College in 1935. He received a Master of Education and a doctorate from the University of Iowa in 1937 and an additional doctor's degree in 1960 from the University of Budapest. He served as director of the Royal Hungarian College of Physical Education and later as chairman of the Hungarian and Scientific Research Association for Physical Education and Sports, and basketball in particular. During this time, Dr. Hepp did not limit his professional activities to one area of endeavor, to be sure. By 1942, he had become the youngest assistant full-time professor in the history of all higher education in Hungary. In the mid-50s, he founded the Hungarian Scientific Council of Physical Education and Sport, and subsequently founded and directed the Hungarian Research Institute of Physical Education and Sport. For 10 years, he was a member of the Presidium of the Hungarian National Council of Physical Education and Sport. Among his many credits included President of the Finance Committee of the International Basketball Federation for the past 20 years, President of the Council of Amateur Basketball, President of the Hungarian Basketball Federation, founder of the Sport World Council, President of the Hungarian Basketball Federation since 1955 and right up until his passing, a member of the Basketball Rules Committee of FIBA for 8 years, and a representative of the Hungarian Basketball Federation for 40 years. He served as the president of the Hungarian Olympic Committee. He was a prolific writer and had published over 150 professional and scientific articles in the field of physical education, basketball, and sports psychology, including his famous Olympic Sport Dictionary in 4 of the 7 languages he spoke fluently. Dr. Hepp has also received numerous decorations, including the highest awards presented to him by his country, namely the Gold Medal of the Order of Sport and the Gold Medal of the Order of the Republic. In 1980, his alma mater, Springfield College, honored him by presenting him the Distinguished Alumnus Award in recognition of his contribution to basketball in terms of its community, national, and world outreach. Knowing Ferenc well for the past 20 years, I was amazed that he was able to maintain his delightful sense of humor amid all the trials and tribulations he had undergone as a result of the political situation in Hungary, and in particular, the fact that he was educated in the United States and had been thoroughly indoctrinated in the American way of life and its ideology. In my opinion, the unique contribution of Dr. Hepp had been his constant endeavors to keep the bridges between East and West open, even during the worst days of the Cold War and the Iron Curtain. During those bleak years, he was Dr. Jones, the co-founder of FIBA, most reliable partner in maintaining the unity of basketball and of the International Amateur Basketball Federation. He was a constant help in ironing out differences due to the contrasting ideologies, and when that was not possible, in maintaining unity in spite of differences. Among the international leaders of our discipline, Dr. Hepp, in my opinion, is indeed more than qualified to be elected to the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the late Dr. Ferenc Hepp, by virtue of his election and by the authority invested in me by the trustees of the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, I have the distinguished honor to enshrine him as a contributor in the Basketball Hall of Fame with all of its rights and privileges. And Ed Steitz, would you please take... You going to do it, George? George Killian. And here is the card. Thank you, George.
Tonight was to be a very glorious night for international basketball. Unfortunately, last week, Dr. R. William Jones, Secretary General Emeritus of FIBA, passed away in Munich last Thursday. Dr. Stankovic, the current Secretary General, was to be here tonight for his first visit to the first enshrinement, and it was to be a big day, and it turned out to be a rather sad day because we've lost two giants, one Dr. Hepp and second Dr. Jones, and tomorrow Dr. Steitz and Dr. Fagan and myself will leave for Munich to attend his services. Dr. Stankovic wired last week and asked if I would read to you the following message, and I'm delighted to do so. Mr. President and members of the Trustees Committee and friends, it is an honor, but also a sad occasion for me to assist at this ceremony of the enshrinement of our dear friend, the late Professor Dr. Hepp. It fills me with sadness that Frank Hepp is no longer with us and cannot be present to accept the honor bestowed upon him, and because his best friend, Dr. R. William Jones, has already joined Frank Hepp on April 22nd, 1981, and is no longer with us. These two personalities are the only non-American members of the International Amateur Basketball Federation who have found their place here in this Basketball Hall of Fame. Dr. Jones learned of the enshrinement of his dear friend before his passing away and was extremely gratified by Hepp's nomination. In our world of international basketball, Frank Hepp was one of the greatest and most popular personalities. By his mere presence, he has always facilitated human relations among people of all races and of all countries in our world. Relations which, for some time, have unfortunately often been upset and marred by actions that had nothing whatever to do with the ideal sports is pursuing. Through his calm and his ability to always find the right words at the right moment, through his wisdom and with his experience, he has always helped us to find the right solutions at the most critical moments. He was contaminated by the basketball virus during his studies in the United States, where he also took his doctor's degree. This virus was instilled in him until his last moment, when after fulfilling duties as president of the Hungarian National Basketball Federation and after returning from a trip for World Basketball, he suddenly passed away on his way home. Frank Hepp became an international referee in 1946. Then he became president of the Committee for Amateur Matters, which was responsible and instrumental in drawing up the first FIBA regulations governing the amateur status of players by the World Congress of FIBA in London in 1948. For 33 years, Frank Hepp has served FIBA as a member of the Central Board and World Executive, as well as a member of the Technical Commission and President of the Finance Commission. Frank Hepp was one of the cornerstones of FIBA and its development. In 1948 in London, FIBA had about 35 member federations, a figure which has now gone up to 155. At present, there is practically no place in the world where basketball is not played and organized by FIBA. This honor bestowed on our late friend Dr. Frank Hepp of being enshrined here in his beloved Springfield, I take as a token of the close relationship between Springfield and world basketball and as a recognition of the International Amateur Basketball Federation. For FIBA, it is inconceivable to have the Basketball Hall of Fame anywhere else but in Springfield, Massachusetts, the very birthplace of basketball. I am confident that in the near future, also other members of international basketball will have their place here in this hall and under less sad circumstances. On behalf of the International Amateur Basketball Federation, Mrs. Hepp and her family, the late Dr. R. William Jones, and myself, I would like to thank you most sincerely for this homage paid to our friend Dr. Hepp, who, as you know, was proud of having been a student and was honored only last year by Springfield College. Signed, Boris Stankovic. Thank you.